PTE Grammar Rules. English grammar is one of the most difficult and stressful subjects for many people and many students, as it has many confusing and complicated rules. However, grammar plays a very important role in the question types in PTE exam, such as summary written text, essay writing, reading fill the blank, reading and writing fill the blanks, reorder paragraph, summarize spoken text, and of course, write from dictation. It took me four attempts to finally get my desired score of 79 plus in all sections. I bought and read so many grammar books when I prepared for my PTE examination, so you don't have to if you watch my video. I have made a video series of PTE grammar rules that you must know if you want to achieve your PTE target score. Currently, I have made 15 videos of grammar rules and continuing to be updated on my channel. So you might consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Each video consists of explanation and examples of each grammar rule to make sure that you will be able to apply these rules in your PTE exam or not. I will make each video and explain each grammar rule in my own words so that it will be clear and very easy to understand. And of course, I will make each video as short and sweet as possible, straight to the point, no fluff, because I know that you don't have much time. The woman talking to Tom, the boy injured in the accident. So today we are going to see the clauses with ing and ed clauses. Let's have a look at section A. A clause is a part of a sentence. Some clauses begin with ing. For example, who is the woman talking to Tom? So we ask, who is the woman talking to Tom? You see this part, talking to Tom is ing clause. When we can use ing clauses, so we use them to say what somebody or something is or was doing at a particular time. We used ing clauses to say what somebody or something is or was doing at a particular time. Who is the woman talking to Tom? The woman is talking to Tom. Police investigating the crime are looking for 3 men. So police are investigating the crime. Who were those people waiting outside? They were waiting outside. I was woken up, a bell was ringing, and then we combine them together using ing clause. You can also use an ing clause to say what happens all the time, not just at a particular time, as I mentioned earlier. The road connecting the two villages is very narrow. Usually we're going to use present simple tense for this case. The road connecting the two villages is very narrow is the fact, it's always like this. I have a large room overlooking the garden. The room overlooks the garden, so I always see the garden from my room. Can you think of the name of a flower beginning with T? The name begins with T. As I told you, in this case, we always use present simple tense. So in the section A, we already see ing clauses. Now let's have a look ed clauses. The boy injured in the accident was taken to hospital. Injured in the accident is the ed clause. So what does this mean? How can we use ed clauses? Ed clauses have a passive meaning. Passive meaning you have to highlight. The boy injured in the accident was taken to hospital. He was injured in the accident. He was injured is passive voice. George showed me some pictures painted by his father. They were painted by his father. That's why we have to use painted. We cannot use painting because some pictures cannot draw, cannot paint by themselves. The gun used in the robbery has been found. The gun was used in the robbery. So we have to use past participle or ed clause. Injured, painted used past participles or verb 3, verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. Most past participles always end in ed, but many are irregular, they're not normal. So like stolen, made, built, etc. You have to read more, you have to read a lot, and then you're gonna be familiar with all of those irregular verbs that not end in ed. For example, the police never found the money stolen in the robbery. Most of the goods made in this factory are exported. Stolen is the verb 3. Made is the verb 3. Now let's finish with the section C. You can use there is, there was, etc. plus ing or ed clauses. Let's have a look at the full example. There were some children swimming in the river. So you explain something in the past that there were some children, they were swimming in the river. Is there anybody waiting? Is there anybody waiting? Or there was a big red car parked outside the house. Parked ed clause because the car cannot park itself. And the last one, we use left in this way with the meaning not used or still there. We have eaten nearly all the chocolates. There are only a few left. There are only a few left. I hope you understand the relative clauses using ing and ed. Now let's do some exercises together, ing and ed clauses. Number 1, make one sentence from 2. Complete the sentence using an ing clause. Let's have a look at the example. A bell was ringing. I was woken up by it. So it becomes, I was woken up by a bell ringing. Now, what do you think for the question number 2? A taxi was taking us to the airport, but the taxi broke down. So we can write the taxi taking us to the airport. And then we describe that broke down. You see, it's become one sentence using taking us to the airport, ing clause. Now number 3, there's a path at the end of the street. The path leads to the river. So we can say at the end of the street, there's a path leading to the river. There's a path, P-A-T-H, path leading to the river. And then number 4, a factory has just opened in the town. It employs 500 people. It's become a factory. So we have to find the verb first. We have to use verb employ, 500 people. Employ become employing. So a factory employing 500 people has just opened in the town. Then number 5, a man was sitting next to me on the plane. He was asleep most of the time. It's become the man sitting next to me on the plane. The man sitting next to me on the plane. And then was asleep most of the time. And the last one, the company sent me a brochure. It contained the information I needed. So the company sent me a brochure, C-H-U-R-E. Brochure contained, the verb become ing clause, containing, C-O-N-T-A-I-N, So be careful, spelling is very important, especially for writing essay, like writing section and listening section is very important that you have to work on your spelling if you have some difficulties or some problem with spelling mistakes. Containing the information I needed. So that's it for the question number 1. Now let's do together. Complete the sentence with an ed clause. Choose from the box. The boy injured in the accident was taken to hospital. Now it's become ed clause. You remember that clauses have a passive meaning. Let's have a look at the question number 2. The paintings. So paintings we have to use stolen from the museum. The painting stolen from the museum. Stolen from the museum. What's happened? Haven't been found yet. Haven't been found yet. They're still looking for the painting stolen from the museum. We have repaired the gate. We've repaired the gate. So we have to repair if it damaged, right? Damage in the storm. We have to use damage in the storm. Okay. Number 4. Most of the suggestions dash were not practical. It's not practical. It's not doable. So most of the suggestions made at the meeting. We can make the suggestion during the meeting. Made at the meeting. And then number 5, our friends live in beautiful house. So what do you think? Surrounded by trees. Surrounded by trees. And then we have the last one, everybody involved in the project. Involved in the project. Worked very well. Worked very well. So you see, this is the ed clause. It has the passive meaning. And now we're gonna finish with these exercises. Complete the sentences. Use the following verbs in the correct form. Example, I was woken up by a bell ringing. And then number 2, George showed me some pictures painted by his father. I hope you understand the difference between ing clause and ed clause. Now number 3, what do you think for some of the people to the party can't come? Some of the people, we have to use verb invite. Invite. But they were invited, so it has a passive meaning. We have to use which form? Invited or inviting? We have to use invited, passive meaning. Number 4, somebody Jack phoned while you were out. This is a bit tricky. We have to use called, ed form, because somebody was called is passive. Was called. Somebody was called. And then number 5, life must be very unpleasant for people near busy airport. Life must be very unpleasant for people. We have to use verb to live. Do you think it's become live or living? We have to use ing. It's active voice. Living near busy airports. Then number 6, a few days after the interview, I received an email, me the job. After interview, you're gonna get job offer. So we have to use offering me the job. This is active meaning. And then the building was badly damaged in a fire by an electrical fault. So by here, of course, it's gonna become passive. And we have to use verb to cause, to cause something happen. caused. This is the past participle of cause. And then, did you see the picture of the trees down in the storm? Did you see the picture of the tree? This one we have to use verb to blow. So it's blow, blew, and blown. This is the past participle. So here you have to use blown. Is irregular verb. The waiting room was empty except for an old man in the corner, a magazine. So he sit and he read a magazine. Sit becomes sitting, active voice, and read become reading, active as well, because the old man is doing the activities by himself. And then number 10, the last one. Ian has a brother in a bank in London and a sister economics at university in Manchester. So his brother working in London and sister studying, ing clause, studying economics at university in Manchester. I hope you understand this unit, the difference between ing and ed clauses. I hope that I clear all your doubts and you have no more questions. But if you still do have any questions, feel free to ask me anything and then I will answer your question as soon as I can, as soon as possible. PTE Ultimate Guide to Score 79 Plus. It took me 4 consecutive attempts to get my desired score of 79 plus in all the 4 sections in order to apply for Australian permanent residency. I have been through the painful experience that I will never forget, and I don't want you to experience it. With my painful and also wonderful experience after taking PTE exam for 4 times, I was able to create the PTE Ultimate Guide to Score 79 plus. In this guide, I am going to share literally everything about PTE exam, all my secrets, some preparation steps, or tips and tricks that helped me crack the exam. I will be explaining each and every task, in total 20 tasks, in 4 sections with the marking criteria, the strategy, or the easy templates that I used in the real exam, and things you need to be careful. You just need to read this guide and go implement it. This is the best thing that I can give to you. This guide is very in-depth, packed with useful tips and tricks, and of course, it will help you to get your desired score as quickly as possible as soon as you take action. It's definitely worth your time, no fluff, straight to the point. The main reason I decided to create this guide for you is mainly because I think if we practice enough and smart, you don't deserve to take PTE exam more than 2 attempts to get your desired score. I don't want you to waste your time, money, and energy again and again. If you want to download this guide, you just need to check the link down below in the video description box.